out on maybe short notice, depending, and come listen and show interest in the Hillcrest marching program. My name is, and I'm the newly minted, so I guess I'll say it, I'm Dr. Austin Hilla. Okay, so yeah, I'm Dr. Hilla, and then that's Mr. Wyatt Gillis, and then we have Ms. Marianne Tierling, and then Amy Allen.
She's not here.
Not here yet. Okay, so we have so this is a short parent-student community meeting. We really appreciate that you take the time out of your night again to come and listen to the cool things that we're doing or be interested and get involved. We'll be talking about a few things tonight. So here's our agenda. So last time we did this meeting, it was about everything band, and now, luckily the band program's in kind of a place where we can focus just on marching. So that's what this meeting is about. It's just about the marching season that goes from late July and ends in November. We'll be going through the year at a glance, and we will only say dates, and you are welcome to write stuff down. We also have a website, and this QR code, the double-sided QR code, gives you to two websites. It gets you to our general band handbook. It tells you everything for the year, and then the other one gives you the contract, and it gives you a website with these dates. So if after the meeting, if you want to write these things down and get them in your calendar to schedule when you're going to Disneyland, totally get it. So we have the year at a glance, summer band and August Days Parade. We'll be talking about those. The regular season and football games that we'll be involved in, because Hillcrest does it the way I do it back home. I'm from Houston, Texas, for those who don't know. For me, marching band is about band. It's also about giving back to the community and the culture of the school. So we play at football games. That isn't the standard for all Utah high schools, but I think it's an important one to hold. And then we'll talk about competitions and state marching contest. And then we'll get into we'll have Amy will speak. Amy will talk about band boosters, and we'll talk about our communication method. And then finally, this might most of this side of the room is here, is that I will reveal the show for the year, next year, this upcoming season show. Super exciting. We're growing in lots of ways, and one of the ways we're growing is that we already have the entire show ready to hand out. So it's a really cool thing, really excited about it. And then we'll talk about, so if you're excited, the action items, if you're interested for your kid, if you've got some family members, or if you have close family friends, or friends that have Hillcrest kids coming up in the high school, or if you know they're instrumentalists, like band kids, or kids that you think need something like this experience, we'll talk about the contract and the fees, and we'll do some open Q&A. So that's what we got tonight. Before we get into it, I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. You being here is a huge point of advocacy, especially if you have never met myself or Ms. Tierling before, or you are just coming in to Hillcrest and you took the email from Mr. Gillis and you decided to come out. It means a lot that you trust us. Utah is an interesting place for marching band. There are cultures of tradition and excellence in marching band, but there's also a lot of growth in creating new things. Hillcrest had a marching band that stopped operating the year I was born. So that's how long ago that was. Anyway, so a long time ago there was that Hillcrest marching band, but now we've been starting out. This will be our third competition show, and we've been in existence for 4 years. So, from the bottom of my heart, even if you're not sure yet, I just wanted to say thank you for trusting us and thank you for trying something new. It's a community, and it's families and parents and loved ones telling their young adults hey, you should do this, you should try this, you should grow, you should try something hard, you should try something new, you should do something that makes you uncomfortable. You know what I mean? That is what makes great people. Is that trust. And it's a hard thing that Mr. Gillis and Mr. Lincoln and I, and then you as parents do. It's building that is hard. Stepping into that is easy. There are bands north and south of us in Utah and the Wasatch Front that have it that's what it is. Yep, I was in band 40 years ago and you're going, and that's it. And everybody does it. Hillcrest, we're creating it, and that's hard. So thank you for being here. We hope that this meeting shows you that we care about your kids, and that also that we get you fired up, that you think we're going to do something cool. Guess what? We are. Yeah. So here's the year at a glance. Not going to talk about what's happening. I'm just going to show you this. It just says July. Crap. Anyway, sorry. Summer band is July 29, in that week of July 29, and then it's the next week, August 5, and then it's the next week, August 12. It goes all the way up, yep, so we get our summer vacation is bookended with some fun in the sun. And then we have the regular season, the school year starts, and I'm no longer in school, yes, other than teaching it, so we have a more standard schedule. It's not changing, it's not wiggling around, it is very simple and straightforward. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 to 6:30. Now, that 3 to 6:30, we're going to be talking about it later. But it is a little late, it's a little more than we've had in the past, but there's a reason for that. Football games, we're only doing 3 football games this year. The schedule is just the schedule, and one of the football games is during fall break, so we have 3 football games. Which is cool, and I'm glad we're doing it. More later, because I told you I'm not going to talk about this stuff. Competition and special performances, here are the dates. So this is the year. Yeah, this is the marching band year, at a glance. Summer band, end of July through August. Regular season, up until November. Same dates every week, except for, there are a couple exceptions, it's all on the band website. Okay? No conferred ties for competitions. Sorry. Hey, Lydia. Sorry. Okay. Anyway. Okay, Summer Band and Harvest Days Parade. So let's talk about Summer Band. So there's 3 weeks in August. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. I love this. This is so great. Last year it was like, okay, well, this one's a little different, and that one's like this. And then you like show up, do the hokey pokey, and leave. Oh, just kidding, come back. Oh, sorry. Like, none of that. 8 to 5. Monday to Friday. Yes. The end. God, so and there's vets. There's like little high school vets going like, oh my God. It's just like, it's the same. I'm excited to think about one thing. It's not 9. And why is Mr. Hulla mad at me? Anyway, Hillcrest High School and nearby practice facilities. Mr. Gillis doesn't know this, and Mr. Lee doesn't know this. Surprise! Oh wait, you do know. Surprise! There's no grass next year here.
What?
Yeah. So they're redoing the football stadium, and they're redoing every bit of turf on Hillcrest campus, because guess what? When the school got built, they installed the turf wrong. But here's the good news. We have transportation. They've worked on everything for us. We're gonna have a trailer. We're getting new equipment. We're getting our tow behind trailer, like fast tracked. And we are gonna be not more than a mile away at an elementary school where they'll have a football field painted and everything there for us.
I heard no grass, and I was so confused. I was like, no grass?
No, grass.
Grass?
The thing I'm supposed to touch. So that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be at Hillcrest during summer band, but we'll also be going to a nearby practice facility at an elementary school that has shaded trees. Like, yeah, I know. And so then we do, so every marching band in Canyons District, all of a sudden Canyons District is like, wow, there's 3 marching bands. They should all do parades. And we're like, yeah, we've been doing that. Well, it's a requirement now.
Oh.
Yeah, we were doing that. So we do a parade. The parade is Saturday, August 3rd, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's Harvest Days. Then Midvale City. It's a very easy parade route. We get your kids water. It's fun. We play September and walk down the street. So it's a great way for us to show out, and we go, and we're like we're the front of the Hillcrest procession. Everybody's sitting in there, like, what are those called? I'm old. Oh my gosh, what are those called? Mules, like those goofy, like, what are those? I'm gonna move on. I'm about to move on. They're like in ATVs, and they're like waving at people, and we're actually doing stuff. Anyway, so we have a parade. We have the 3 weeks in August, and then the summer band show preview. Saturday, August 17th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. For parents, we're going to do an informational meeting, you and I. Just like, hey, they did a great job, I'm really proud of them. Mr. Gillis is going to be like, reset, go again! And I'm going to be talking to you about the year and how they've done so far, and just reminding you of as school starts, here are the expectations. So then they perform for you. It'll be in the auditorium, the football stadium at 11. And that's like our big celebration for a lot of hard work. So there's summer band.
Clear that off-site practice school bus can go there.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about getting there and getting back.
Yeah.
You can still meet, drop off, and pick up.
This is true for football. This is true for, actually no, I shouldn't go through all the sports. It's all fall sports that require like a field. All fall sports and activities. And Mr. Carroll, our AD, was like, I gave you the best one we had. I was like, oh, that's nice of you. I was like, better than football? He goes, better than football. Okay, regular season football games. During school, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 to 6:30. That transportation is why we have that 6:30 building, yeah? 6:30 is the kids are here and you can pick them up, yeah? So if, is Aubrey here?
Aubrey?
Hey. So now, hopefully your mom won't like justifiably get mad at me. Because we're like 3 to 6, and I'm like, wait, hold on, another rep. And she's like, Mr. Hilla, please don't. So now we're gonna be done 6:05, getting back on the bus, and we'll be back here ready to pick up at 6:30. Cool? And that's why we have that hour. That gives the kids the hours that we need to get prepared. And it also allows where they're not like chasing and they're not like nervous, about being on time. So 3 to 6:30. Marching band performs the pep band at home games. So we have every person in the band program plays in the stands, and then the marching band goes and performs a show at halftime for those 3 days. And that's our call time is earlier than it's been in the past, just based on experience. We need to get more time. So we're on 5 to 10. Sorry for the late nights, but that's why you're here, right? Yeah. Okay, and they do a great job. Football games are a lot of fun at Hillcrest. Our student body is actually fairly supportive. Like they really like, they support the band. I've heard some horror stories out here, and the kids here are they're good kids. So anyway, it's a good time, and you are welcome as parents and loved ones. Please come to these games and come watch what they do. It's really cool what they do, and if you see it, you're gonna be like really impressed, I think. Okay, competitions and UMEA state marching contests. So this season, we do this show and we play at the football games, and then we have these marching contests. Really quick, boring industry talk in the marching band world. There are 2 major competition sectors. There's what's called Bands of America, and there's what's called U.S. Bands. It's kind of like the ABA and the MBA. Yeah, they kind of have 2 associations that don't like to play nice, and they take the same space up. Utah is firmly BOA. There's all Bands of America. So there's like this whole kind of thing, and they score a certain way, and that's what we do out here. There's no U.S. bands in Utah. So we go to these invitationals that are scored like Bands of America, so they get ranked like on music, they get ranked on their visual, they get ranked on the general effect of the show and how it feels and how it sounds all together overall. Hillcrest has had some pretty good early program success. We won our division in Over Mountain this year, which was awesome. And then our first time ever going to state band, we got second in music in our division. First time ever showing up, we got second in music. That's a big deal, because guess what? It's about music. Sorry, I'm like, Mr. Gill's like,
No, I'm not.
I'm in charge of music, Mr. Gill's in charge of visuals. Anyway, Over Mountain Marching Invitational at Harriman, that's on September 28th. Bridgerland Band Invitational, if there's one you gotta go to that one. That's the best one, parents. I love that one so much. It's so good. That's at Utah State University and their stadium. And then, notice that big long break. And then we have Mount Timpanogos at American Fork, where Mr. Gills went to high school, October 26th. I'm hoping it's not so windy. We'll see. And then, on November 2nd, we do have a Friends and Family Day. So that's at Hillcrest, and that's like a big celebration we did it this year. It was a huge success this year. I loved it. It was so nice. We get to like celebrate the seniors and like all their hard work and tell them what they think they're gonna do in November at that point and where they're gonna go. And then we play the show, and then there's some other things that if you had your kids in marching band, you remember. We do some fun things. Following people around. Anyway, and then we have state band. Okay, so parents in here, who did state band with us? Awesome, thank you for doing that. That's awesome and amazing. I want you to know that this year's state band is going to be like 1/3 less intense. Yeah, right? So we're going to stay one night, and we're going to wake up, we're going to play the show, and then we're going to celebrate ourselves by going to Zion and like take some time to like go with the band and go to Zion National Park, and then we're going to go home. So we're not going to like sit there in the cold and freeze and get pushed out of like the stands at 10 at night or whatever. And so, right, so we're gonna like watch some bands and celebrate our success, and then, knock on wood, and then we're gonna go to a pretty place and go look at pretty rocks and then come back.
Pretty rough.
It's gonna be good. Super excited about it. I was tempted to do it, like I almost like had a wild hair. I'm like, Mr. Girls, where's Steven? He's like, no, we're not. I was like, we're so close to something. Anyway, for those who don't know, and you're like, what is happening? State Band is in St. George. Because it's then. So it needs it's a little warmer. So that's the season. And those are the major dates. I need you to know something. How am I going to say this? No, I'll say it like this. Mr. Gillis and I really love your kids, and we think they're fantastic, and we appreciate their growth and everything they do, but you have to know we are just like two human beings with only so many hours and only so much ability. So like I can control and help out with hiring people. I'm in charge of making sure everything runs. I'm kind of like the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, you know what I mean? Like just pick a C blank O, that's me. Mr. Gillis is making sure the rubber meets the road when I have to like put out fires. But parents and families are what makes this happen. Yeah? This won't happen if we don't have parents' help. And I think, like Miss Tierlink has a soon-to-be graduate from Brighton High, and she has a son that's at Midville Middle with Mr. Gillis' percussion kid. She knows firsthand, helping us here at Hillcrest, but also being a band booster at Brighton, that it is parents that make this happen. So I'm going to turn it over, Amy. I'm going to turn it over to Amy Allen.
It's taken half an hour.
What?
It's one more thing.
Yeah, no. I'm going to give it over to Amy because I want Amy to speak to you, parent to parent, parent to family, about booster stuff.
Okay, I know you see me and I'm like a big clown, and it's true, I am. But the truth is that I am an accountant, and my comfort zone is sitting in front of spreadsheets, like in far corners of offices or at home. Like not in front of people, not doing this. I am not an event planner. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not an educator. I'm not a musician. I am like none of the things that like you would think the skill set would match up with this. And last year at this meeting, I remember sitting like, I'm a back row kind of girl, right? I'm sitting on the back row, probably like this, trying to look kind of unapproachable, but also supportive at the same time. And I remember hearing about like all this booster stuff, and I was like, you can judge me, no offense. I was like, hard pass. No thanks. Like, I don't want to be a booster of anything. Like, I want to show up, and I want to watch, and I want to like donate towels to the car wash. But I do not want to be like a booster. I don't want to be like a thing. I don't want to be a person in this. And so I kind of just pushed it out of my mind. And then by like the 37th email, I think, about like requesting help, I finally was like, Mom guilt. Like, oh gosh. Like, I love my kid, right? I want to support him. I still don't want to be a thing. And so I just emailed Marianne. She had no idea who I was. I was like, hey, I'm not signing up for anything, like committing but not committing. But like, just put me where you think that you might need some help. And then 2 weeks later, in a mass parent email, I was announced and found out that I was a brain booster. It was hilarious. Like, I'm still laughing about it today. I just want to say though that like, I know this is not the meeting to get emotional. Jeez, sorry guys. Looking back at that now, like this has been such an amazing experience. I can't even put into words how. Wow. Sorry, Carrie. I'm not Carrie credit every day. These kids are amazing, and this program is amazing, and the directors are amazing, and there's so much heart and soul goes into this. And within 5 seconds of being around these kids, like you just love them. You can't not. I feel like a better person just for knowing them. They're just so, so, so incredible. And just realizing how much help is needed and how marching band changes lives. Like, I just had no idea. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I can honestly say, a year later, like, I'm not only willing to do it again, I'm excited. And Mr. Hilla tried to take things away from me, and I'm like, don't you dare. Like, don't you dare try and take something away from me. Like, I need to be there. I want to be there. Not only for the kids, but just the community. These parents are amazing. We came into this not knowing each other, right? And we are just like, I don't know, we laughed, we cried, we celebrated, we mourned, we made lifelong friendships. We laughed till we puked. Right? You have not lived until you've almost thrown up with Heidi at 10 o'clock in St. George at the top of his life. Like, you just have it, right? It wasn't even that funny.
It was that funny.
But it was so funny. It's so much fun. It's so enriching. You meet these people that your lives would never cross any other way. You know, like, we don't live together and commute, you know, like, we're not neighbors, we're not, you know, but our kids are in band and we love them and we want to support them, and we make these lifelong friendships that are just super enriching, super fulfilling. We are sad. I'm not going to speak for anyone, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm going to anyway. We were all sad when it was over. We missed each other. We looked forward to the concerts when we could reunite and, you know, give hugs and catch up. I know for me, like, there was a true sense of loss when marching band season ended, because there was just so much emotion that went into it, and we just loved each other. We do love each other. We love these kids, and it's really great. So I just want to say, and also another thing I hear is, man, my kid would not let me do that. My kid would not let me be at the school. Guess what? My kid is not a fan either. I actually take pride in this. By the end of the season, there were people who had no idea who my son was, because we just were never, like, their kids are doing their thing. Parents are busy doing their thing. I would go 12-hour days with seeing him like 2 times, like across, right? So kids, suck it up. Suck it up. Your parents, we need your parents. If you want to have a successful marching band season, your parents need to be able to help. So, like, just deal with it, all right? Let them sign up, let them help. Again, like I said, you don't even have to see them if you don't want to. You can if you want, but it's not like we're like wiping toothpaste off their chin and following them around, right? There's plenty of room for all of us to exist in this. So I have a clipboard, and it's almost a spreadsheet. It's just a table. It made me happy though. It's a table. We have a few crews. I'm just going to explain a little bit.
Before you do that, really quickly. Okay, your time is, I know they're, stop.
I'm going to say it already.
Oh, you are great, then no, you say
go
it.
ahead. No, please.
Your time is the thing we need the most.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm gonna say
we love when we get napkins, but we need
Counts for the
you.
car
We
wash,
need
right?
you, is what we need.
So I will say that when I sat in my first meeting, I'm like flipping through these, like, where's the crew that like shows up and watches things and donates towels, right? That was not on there because it requires a lot of time. The thing is, if we get like a lot of help, then we can divide things up a little bit more. And you don't have to feel like you have to commit to like every second of every day marching band like me and some of the other crazy parents do. You can if you want. But even little bits of time help. We have a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different crews. We call them crews. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just going to explain a little bit. Train of thought. Holy. I'll just explain the crews and what that entails. So the first one is the uniform crew, and that requires a little bit of time. And this is like color guard parents too. Like, you guys, please sign up and help, because you guys and your kids are involved in this too. Uniform crew, so at the beginning of the summer, I remember what I was going to say. I was going to apologize, first of all. If any of you felt like you wanted to help last year, and you showed up and were like, felt like you didn't really have anything to do, or it was a little bit unorganized, like, I apologize. It was new for all of us. We were just trying to learn and figure things out, and a lot of trial and error. And sometimes, like, we didn't know how to delegate because we didn't know even what we were doing. So we're hoping that this year, now that we know what we're doing, that part of it will be better. So if you tried to help last year and felt like there wasn't anything to do, don't let that detract you from signing up this year. We're gonna be able to do better with that. So the uniform crew, beginning of, just kind of through camp, will ask for help coming into the school, doing like an inventory of the uniforms, getting everything, measuring kids. We're gonna have to do that again, right? We're gonna have to measure kids again, get all the pieces divvied out. It's a lot of work up front, but once that's done, the uniform crew is like showing up to the football games, making sure all the uniforms are in order where they're supposed to be, getting them to the field, making sure kids have their pieces on, have a lot of time, but if you don't shy away from signing up if that's something you feel like you would be interested in. Also, please write your name on this. Multiple crews if you want. Like, if anything that you might be interested in, put your name on, because we're going to go through that and kind of like figure out what we have where and what we need where and shuffle things around. And if you're on like a few different lists, you might end up somewhere where we need to do more, if that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions about your crew?
Can I say,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to sign up for something and you're like, I don't know what's going into this uniform thing. She just spoke a whole bunch of words, but none of them made sense. Like, we will teach you. We have a whole bunch of people who've done this for a whole year now. We want you involved. We want you to be, part of this community. It's easy. We will teach you. Don't be afraid to show up and ask questions, because we were all in the same spot last year.
And we are still learning. I mean,
Yes.
we're definitely heading in the right direction, but we're still learning. So Meal Crew, that tends to be our most popular because, like, it's really easy to, it's easier to just, donate food and send food, which we appreciate so much. I mean, we couldn't do that without you guys sending food. But it also is like, at all the competitions, we will feed the kids a meal. So it's coming and helping set up and serving and cleaning up and making sure the kids get snacks and things like that. If you're able in any way to help with those, she's not here, but Bill is proxy for Leslie. She was our Meal Crew lead last year, who's agreed to do it again. She's amazing. We've kind of got it figured out about what meals work good with which competitions, and so it runs pretty smooth, and she does an amazing job. The next thing is the pit crew, which is where we probably need the most hands and also takes probably the most time. These people will come for football games. They will come early.
Keep going. Keep going.
They'll come early, help move equipment out. Well, I guess we don't have, that'll be a little different this year, right? Because we don't have field.
Marching band in 2024 is really weird. If you've been in band, you're like, pit crew, what are you talking about? So now it's like ballet with props. So we had a whole stage that went onto the field, and then we plugged into array speakers for concert venues, and blasted Beetlejuice at a bunch of people. And so this year, there are things on the field still, but it's a little different. But basically we need able-bodied adults, not the kids, because the kids have an instrument in their hands, sometimes two. And we need about 10 to 12 adults who are willing to learn, take this color-coded thing and put it in that color-coded thing in 45 seconds. Roll this thing out and take it off, or the kids don't get, they get docked points. Stuff like that. It's weird. 2024 marching band is real crazy, but it's really cool at the same time. So that's what this job does.
Yeah, and also helping get equipment loaded onto trucks, getting equipment loaded off trucks into different staging areas at competitions, and then however the football games work, also getting it on and off the field, where it needs to go and be put away, where it needs to go to get loaded up. Will, I put your name on there already. So this one, we grandparents, moms, dads. My husband and I, it forced us to get to spend time together last year, which was kind of awesome. I was like, you're gonna come and help me? And it ended up being really amazing because we got to spend a lot of time together. And there was a lot of us that were couples, kind of doing that, and it was really, really fun. And Heidi back there, she is our pit crew lead. And she is she's amazing. And if you're lucky, you might laugh and throw up with her. So, one of your bestie, it's worth your while, I promise. She's amazing. So, pit crew, that is pit crew. And also, if you are interested in pit crew, but you're like, I cannot commit to doing every competition, every game, sign up as an alternate and just put in parentheses alternate, because we do need, sometimes people can't make it, and if you're able to come fill in, that is helpful. And then, I'm missing one. One thing we want to try and do, there it is, different this year that we haven't really had is fundraising. That's not in my skill set. That is not, I don't know. If you have resources to help with fundraising or sponsorships, or it's something you're interested in learning about, helping the band about, there's a sign up for that also. So,
Quickly, on that. We're gonna be talking more about it. But if you are someone who has like business connections, and if you know people who are willing to like contribute to this, we would just love like parent help on that. And we'll talk about it a little bit more like later. But we do have a plan for next year that's better than it's been in the past. But we would love parent facilitation, because if it falls all on myself or Mr. Gillis, sometimes we have to choose one. If we choose your kids in music over money, because I usually am like, I'll make it work in the end, but we do need parent help with that. Doesn't have to be a lot, but we do need parent help with that.
So if you have, the paper is here. If Feels so inclined. And then also I have one
That's something you can do
for,
on your own time too. That's,
yeah,
it's not as structured, so if you're like, well, I can sit at home and make phone calls, or on my own
like
time.
we talked about last year, we tried to get J-Dogs to donate hot dogs for band camp lunch, and like we called too late. They had already filled up their quota. So like someone like that who's willing to make phone calls and see if they can get stuff, donated to help. That's another area that was helpful. And then the last sheet is just for year-long band events. When it's not marching season, I am the band mom, and there are different events that happen throughout the year. 4 times a year, the music department does a social, and so parents to come help monitor or donate or help set up, clean up. Some of the concerts we've done cookies in the past, and so, parents who are willing to come and help with that, set up, take down, monitor things, yell at people. And then we have jazz bands, if you have any, any kids that are in jazz. There's a baseball band for the year, that's really, really fun. And parent help is always appreciated there. So just anything like that, if you're like, this marching stuff I don't have time for, I'm not able to, there's stuff throughout the year that we would love to also have parent involvement with. If that makes sense. Do you want me to talk about communication right now, or go along with that, or come back to that?
You want me to tap in real quick on that? I can make it really short. Okay. And then I can let you kind of like talk about the parent perspective. So like from a director, professional perspective.
Okay, I'm starting this.
Great. With communication, we have a band website. That's like our kind of slower news thing. It gets updated maybe twice a year. So if you want the year as an overview, hillcresthhighschoolband.org is the website. That has like just general expectations for your kids. There's a QR code on the back that sends you to 2 pages there. We also use the app, the Band app. It's literally just called Band. Think of it like Facebook without advertisements and AI telling you things and chat. Well, actually it has chat. Anyway, it's just like a Facebook. Functionally, it's Facebook without Meta being involved. And we use one that's general and for the kids more, and we have one that's more for the parents. We're going to be working. One of the things with parents is like getting the calendars synced up better, because I'll be honest with you, in 2024 it's really hard to know, and I know myself as an adult, like I know it can be frustrating to know how things are communicated. And while I was going to school, that's true for me even like in my doctoral studies. I didn't know about my convocations like ticketing system because the emails got sent out in a way that just looked like advertisements. So it's confusing and it's annoying and everybody wants to send you email, right? And it just sucks. So we went from junk mail physically to junk mail physically and on email. I get it, it's hard. So we use the Band app. I'll put a couple codes when we're done and when you're leaving and when we're doing the open Q&A. I'll put an invite code for the parent one and I'll put an invite code for the kids one. You're welcome to join the kids one if you want. It just gets a little dumb sometimes. So, and that one is for the kids and for Mr. Gillis and I to talk to them directly. Again, that's why you're welcome to join it. Just some people turn off notifications pretty quick. And what we noticed is that everybody got really excited last year. We got this band parent group going, and all of a sudden it went from 50 people looking at posts to 3. Because as we all know, you can turn this thing off like that, right? You can turn off notifications and not get pinged for things. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know about that. So our communication method, I do use Skyward. That's my I absolutely need to make sure that you see this. Band is, I need you to read this, but I'm not going to put it on an email. And then we have the website for the anytime you need. Does So that's the director's perspective, but Amy, for you.
So like me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What about the parent square?
We're gonna use Parent Square next year, because I know that's the district approved one. It has so many functional problems that I didn't use it. Like communication on it, I know other groups here do it, and I'm willing to do it, to add it. I'll loop it in next year, that's something I'm gonna focus on. But like posting things where people could comment and ask questions, that was limited, and I valued that. Does that make sense? Getting kids reporting. No, it's the only reason I didn't use it is because we noticed with band, there's more accessibility in band compared to Parent Square, but I'm going to use Parent Square in addition to band next year. Does that make sense? It's okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's totally fine.
Okay, cool.
I turn off the TV, so I still got the alerts.
No, yeah.
I just like when my phone alerts the whole.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Cool.
So as far as the parent side is concerned, like they can't just give me a list of everyone's emails. So that's why the band app is really important for parental involvement, because that is just how we do our communication. And so what we did last year that worked really well is for every crew, we made a chat. And that is how we would communicate with each other. And so it's really important to be signed up on the band app, but also make sure you have your notifications turned on so that you know when we're looking for signups or when the events are, when we need help. That's also a way, like you can reach me and ask me questions. Dr. Hilla mentioned at the beginning of the year, we just had, like, everyone was really excited, there was a lot of questions, we didn't have a lot of answers, and so it kind of just turned into, it was just a lot for people, I think. And so I'm offering that, like, if you have questions, feel free to message me through that and ask me, and I will try to answer. And if I don't have an answer, I know who to ask that might have an answer. Even if they don't, I'll make one up. It'll be fine. So yeah, please make sure to sign up, because we're going to start talking about, we start talking about things in the summer. We're going to start getting things rolling, getting groups organized this summer. So it's coming up real quick.
Cool. Good. All right. Thanks, Amy. Good. Okay. Okay, it's time. This is the reason half of. It's time to finally reveal the show. I'm sorry I don't have a sophomoric Adobe Premiere and After Effects video for you. But what I do have is the unfortunate fact that Hillcrest Marching Band show has been canceled. I'm so sorry. No, it has not been approved for multiple unacceptable artistic and aesthetic qualities that do not serve the state. I apologize. Sorry. I apologize, but look, this is an unacceptable artistic gesture, unacceptable message. We will not perform this year. Sorry. Not my decision. We will not. Just kidding. Here's our show for this year. Featuring the music of Dmitry Shostakovich, Leonard Bernstein, and Bella Bartok. Hillcrest will be performing Redacted. So, the music is by Donnie Christian, an old colleague of mine from Houston, Texas. And the drill is by Peter Bates Design. What you're hearing right now is our opener. Dmitry Shostakovich, String Quartet number 8, Movement 2, also known as the KGB Quartet. Leonard Bernstein will be performing Chichester songs, and then Bella Bartok's fifth string quartet as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be a very different kind of show for Hillcrest. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. It's got original music. It's going to be doing classical and heavy metal fusion as well. So all these tunes are going to have a heavy metal influence. We're looking for electric. If you have people who play electric guitar who can actually read music, we'll take them. Guitars, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. In addition, for any Hillcrest families or people who have been involved with Hillcrest in the past, if you remember American Folk Show, Visions of Red, with the props. We've bought multiple of their props, and we're going to be modifying them and using them throughout the show. So we'll have people standing on things and like leaning up, and, like up in the air. It's gonna be a very cool experience. Peter Bates is gonna be working with us throughout the year more, and he's gonna do our drill. And he's already, because we have a drum ensemble or a marching drum line, we're gonna modify depending on enrollment. But if we do a drum ensemble, there's gonna be a lot of off-field, running on and off-field, and doing lots of different effects. It's gonna be pretty cool. So, I'll get you a list of tunes on the band app. I'll tell you like what our music directly is. So, it's going to be a really cool thing, and here's the deal. If you're pumped up right now, you got to share that with other people. Because the more people that do this, the cooler it's going to be. So that's our show. Redacted. Yay! Okay. So now that we got you all pumped up and the parents are staring at a clipboard with ominous dread. Now that we've talked to you about the year and we've talked about what we're going to be doing and all that stuff, and again, thank you so much for being patient and listening in and all that. We're going to be talking about contract finances, and then I want to talk about fundraising quickly. But I'm going to. Do you want to talk contract first? Okay. So Mary Ann's going to take us through the contract, and we're.
It's on your QR code as well, if you want to pull it up in front of you, but
yeah, I'm going to be pulling up. So one of the QR codes takes you here, and then it'll take you to this form. Now I'll let go crazy. Yeah, cool, great.
Okay, we decided to only do exclusively online contracts this year, no physical papers. It's quite a long contract, and you get to the end, and it'll keep telling you, no really, you're committing. I'll have you sign multiple times, just to make sure you understand what you're committing to, and that you understand everything that's involved. We would like all submissions of the contract by May 22nd, which gives you 2 weeks from today, to recruit all your friends.
And here's why. Our drill writer has to know how many people to write the drill for, yes? So what's called dots, every dot's really important. So knowing how many percussionists, how many wind players, how many guard members, that dictates what our show looks like. Our show will be more successful the better that information is from that date, yeah? So we have like, oh, I'm not sure, which is natural and normal. But if you're like waffling, we can't really guarantee you a spot. And we really want to. And the more people that do this, the better. But it's kind of this professional, the directorial like balance. So if that's why we have this requirement, this group.
Yeah, and the other direction too. Once you commit, you've got your kid in a spot. We've paid for their uniform, we've paid for all their things, and we're committed from the beginning once your kid is signed up. I don't. Well, we can't auto-fill it, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, so do you want me to just walk through each thing?
Sure.
Student parent information. Tell us what section instrument you're interested in. Obviously, Dr. Hill will just determine correct instrumentation for the show based on our needs, but that's a good starting point. So we just need lots of your personal information.
And accurate, right? Because like what we'll do is, and we'll talk about fees later, like this information basically informs a lot of like the logistical stuff that Mary Ann and I do. So Mary Ann will like start a task and I'll be following up with her and making sure everything's okay. And part of it comes from this contract's information. So please make sure it's
Yeah, we
accurate.
pull lots of information for the whole season for this. We've got food allergies, dietary restrictions. We're feeding your kids a lot of the time throughout the season.
This is, and there are questions that are district involved, like the trip. We have to know, like we have to know the gender of your student for rooms and stuff. I'm sure it's like it's fairly boilerplate, not surprising, but keep going.
Student information. Make sure you do not put your CSD docs email in there. It will not work for us. So any student email that you're using that's not that. Student cell phone numbers. We don't communicate with the students with their phone numbers, but we collect it for student leadership purposes.
So the student leaders are like really, really important, and we make sure that leadership and like learning comes from students. It's not always director to student, but it's also peer to peer. It's a really important skill for your kids to learn, so that's where some of this comes in. So they're like reaching out and keeping each other accountable in like healthy ways, and like it's really important to me to build those skills with them. So.
And then we move on to their shirt size, parent information. Parent 2 is not required, but we need at least one parent or guardian. Phone number, email for communication. Move on to the next section.
Yes.
Okay, so then these are the dates that we already went over. Performance dates, rehearsal dates, summer camp. I didn't know if I might have changed it. I think I got it right.
No, you got it right.
I'll change it really quick.
That's fine. Yep.
An attendance policy, we hate to be hard-nosed about this stuff, but it just doesn't work. It's a lot of work to get a show together, and we need kids where they need to be, and they don't get to just have random excuses all the time. So this is your way to commit. I can be at these sectionals, I can be at these rehearsals, I have to be at the competitions. Camps and clinics are vital. It talks about absences, your attendance and grades.
Yeah, let's talk about grades real quick. So being in the performing arts can be an incredible boon for your kid, but here's the deal. Their academic commitment is really important. I've noticed in my time at Hillcrest it's been getting a lot better, but I noticed I had to instill things that I just assumed from my upbringing and from my time in Texas and Tennessee. And there is something you need to know is that when a band kids and and dance students and theater kids and choir kids can be the smartest kids in the school. They almost always are. But part of that comes from that commitment to the academics and because it enables their ability to be in these groups. So we are going to be way more stringent, and we're going to hold a really hard line that's been difficult for Hillcrest because sometimes we have to get resourceful because we might not have resources. But we are going to hold people to better academic performance because it is an important aspect of being a student. Yeah, I want a kid to love band, absolutely, but I also need that kid to be a good student in physics. Yeah, we need that because they have to learn that skill. Not always easy, and so we're working on that. And so attendance and grades are really, really important. Their investment in the school building is very, very important. So I just want to make sure that that's very clear, and that's why that's in here.
And you'll see student job commitments and athletics are not reasons for an excused absence. Basically, an excused absence is extenuating circumstances.
Early on, if you're proactive, these things can be managed. I work with Mr. Carroll, and we literally have conflict diagrams that we go through to figure out who should go where. But sometimes the kids, because I can be pretty kind-hearted, sometimes the kids trust me with them being their worst self with me, and they'll go, we really can't do that anymore if we want to go to the next step. So being proactive is great. Talking with your boss is great. If you work, I totally understand that work is a necessity in a lot of situations, but we can make this work as long as we're proactive and we prioritize the time.
And you want them to use the form.
Yes, yeah, and we'll be talking about there's you'll see on the website there's a conflict excusal form that Mr. Link and I check. We jump out weekly, and there's there's policies about.
Yeah, so you can find that on that same webpage, and we like at least 2 weeks notice. So like you said, be proactive about it. If you know things are coming up, let's just talk about it. You want an agreement here? I understand. Agree to that policy.
And then this is not to be patronizing, but there are some times we're going to ask you questions based on the policy. And the reason we're doing that is because it's important enough where we need to confirm it with you as you're going in that you know how we do things. It's pretty much, that's all I have to say about that.
For band participation?
Okay, let me see if I can make this really quick. I grew up where everybody that was in band had to do marching band. That's not the case here. Marching band is an optional activity. But I do hold some things from back home because I think they work better than the converse. If you're in marching band, you do have to participate in a core band class if you're in the band, and if you're a guard member, you do need to be in guard and then go with Ms. Lujan's requirements for other classwork. Yeah? Same thing with jazz. If you're a jazz kid with me, you already know, but you have to be in a performing arts class of some kind as well. So these are things because look, like, we just have to, the kids are not just marching. They're marching, and there might be in a jazz band, or they might be a percussionist in an ensemble, or they might be at Jordan High School, or they might, you know what I mean, they might be doing something. They have to keep doing arts, because marching band is amazing, but marching band is not the end-all be-all of artistic expression. So we make sure that we round our kids out. So that's why that participation clause is in there.
You must maintain a GPA of 2.0 throughout the season, and we do check that. Oh, there's the fun part, fees.
Yeah.
Okay, so fees for marching band, and we do have an associated trip. Like we mentioned, we travel to St. George for the state competition. I kind of broke it down. Last year, the fee was $600. We had to up it a little bit. As costs went up. I think it is important to note that the more kids we get to participate, it brings down the cost for everyone. We have, there's certain, most of the items that we purchase are a flat line item. We have to purchase the music, we purchase the drill. The more we can divide that up, the cheaper it is for everyone and the better show it is.
I promise you, with our budget for this activity, if we can manage to bring that fee schedule down for your last payment, we will. I
Absolutely.
promise. Marianne knows how angsty I get about this part. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's unacceptable. I think cost should not be a barrier to you doing what you get to do here. And it makes me really upset, actually. So, we are the most inexpensive, like the most frugal band there. We have the lowest cost because I don't want cost to deny you this activity. In fact, if you're here right now and you saw that number and a pit in your stomach, talk to Ms. Tierlink. I can't know certain things, but talk to Ms. Tierlink. We are gonna try to with caution and professionalism, we are going to do what we can on my side through advocacy and talking to the district and talking to our administration, that anybody that wants to do this should do this. Simple as that. Make sense? Okay, go ahead.
So basically that flat fee, I could break it out, but I kind of just lumped it all in one. It covers staffing that we have to do, the custom arranged music, the drill design, the equipment, the instrument, the meals for our competitions, transportation to our competitions. We have to pay registration, we travel to St. George, it's the hotel room. So this is all inclusive. That cost is all inclusive. If you rent an instrument, which I think a lot of the kids in the band and percussionists have to pay this $100 fee, that's a district mandated fee. But that covers you for the entire year.
So
Use of an instrument.
say I am John Q. Doofus and I play French horn. Well, I play French horn and I play mellophone. We charge you one time. And you have, now, I am Jane Q. Doofus, and I'm in Sister, and I'm in choir, and I'm in band. We have to charge that fee twice.
For participation.
It's for participation. Does that make sense? So if you're an instrumentalist that has no choice but to use a marching instrument, right, then you're charged the fee. But if you're, say, like a saxophonist and you have your own instrument, you're good. So if you have to rent something through the school, we charge you once, and then we allow for reasonable things. Now, people playing secondaries and stuff, that gets a little more sticky, and we'll talk with those kids individually. But just know that that covers you for Hillcrest rental. Is that 100?
Yes, and that's a district.
Yep.
Then $83 covers your compression shirt, which is a shirt that all students have to wear underneath their uniforms. And they are required to wear matching marching shoes. Now, if you have a shirt and shoes from previous seasons, you may use those again. That's why that fee is separate. So if your shoes don't fit, if you lost your shirt, if you're new to the band, you're gonna have to get another one. But if you still have them and they're good repairs,
Yeah.
you can definitely use those again.
Yeah, and don't worry about shopping this stuff outside of this. Yeah, let us take care of it.
Yeah, I purchased it all as a group.
Because so our uniform, it's really cool. It's from Synced Up Designs in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is their armbands, and then it's this jacket here, but this sleeve here is bare skin if you don't have that compression shirt, and if you have the compression shirt that is not ours, the black won't match.
The only thing that you will have to be tracking down yourself is a pair of black socks.
Yeah.
You'll shop for that on your own.
And we have a really specific
I think that's
because
all.
yeah. Well, and then marching band in 2024 is weird it's basically ballet now, and there's like a really specific shoe that we use from the company DSI, and we order it for you early on so you don't have to worry about it. And so it's like this really specific shoe. We're not going on there with our, SB dunks, like walking around, whatever. Like we're not gonna do that. We have a specific shoe for the activity because it has like certain impacts. And so we need that. And visually, it all has to look the same. Because if it doesn't visually look the same, it's distracting.
Any questions on the clothing? Any questions on the fees?
Okay.
Compression shorts.
Oh, yeah, socks and compression shorts.
Yeah, that's what
we'll
you're
have to shop
responsible for.
Either compression shorts or when it's cold, you can have like skin tight leggings.
Yeah.
that you wear.
It just can't, we can't see it.
They're worn
through the
underneath
pants.
the uniform, so they would be black, black, at least mid-calf socks. And the shorts. Thank you. All right, I understand fee schedule.
And then there's the payment. That deposit, that first part is so I can get the drill paid, and I can get, or the drill deposit paid actually. The deposit paid, and I get a deposit down for the music. And then the August one completes music and starts competition. And then the last one is competition and travel. So that's basically where the money slushes through based on the needs and based on the timing and the finances.
6 golden rules. Trust anyone who works with you. Be coachable. We all have stuff to learn. Respect the flow state of our work. Respect yourself and others at all times. Stop when the conductor instructor cuts you off. Do not talk when a conductor or instructor speaks, and have anything that connects you to the internet away. Just leave your phones in your backpack while you're in rehearsal. No food, gum, or drinks other than water in this hall. I know kids love to hang out in here, and it's great until someone ruins it for everyone, right? No PDA during class, in uniform, or any function which you are present as a band member. We are representing one another, places that we go. A lot of times you're in uniform, so we act accordingly. Keep our facilities spotless, including rehearsal areas, practice rooms, dressing rooms, auditorium space, anywhere you go. The buses, hotel rooms. You act with utmost respect.
We could probably let everybody else look through this other stuff.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, rehearsal expectations.
So basically the next part would be like if you would take the time, it's kind of so you can kind of get a gauge of how Mr. Gillis and I, like the culture we're setting for your kids and all that stuff. Your investment in this helps a lot. So,
The only thing that's left is the travel disclosure.
Cool. And then, like those materials and stuff, things you can keep in mind. We do try to provide where we can, but there are things that like we have to have y'all like meet us in the middle on. That's usually like sun stuff, like staying safe. Really quick thing, just a tiny thing I want to talk about. I am like really, really intentional about something, and I want you to know, especially parents, your kids' safety in like the climate is really important to me. So I follow the wet bulb temperature chart from the wet bulb temperature activity chart from Oklahoma State, which is basically like if the humidity and the temperature is at a certain level, we can only do things for a certain amount of time. So like just so kids don't get heat syncope, heat stroke, they don't overload or anything like that. So just know that that's when it comes and timing water breaks. It's also like we make sure that they're hydrated and they don't get overworked. So there's stuff like that, and then the band app. I'll put the codes up because I know we're probably starting to run almost a little over, but we'll get the band app set. Okay, yes, I understand that. I understand that. But we'll get there. I'll get some band app codes. We do need that communication with y'all, and that'll be very helpful. I forgot to fill out the form. Sorry. Hold on. If I need to miss a rehearsal performance, I was reading the options. Do you want me to read the answers or
No,
not?
I want you to hurry.
Okay, fair. No. Okay, fair. All right, next. I said let's click the button. Okay, travel disclosure. These are the district guidelines. We have to hold to them really strictly. Just make sure you read them. I'm sorry, they're a little small. And then do you approve? This matters. Yeah, do you approve them going? If not enough of us say yes, you can't go. Yeah. Yep, it's true. And then carefully read the following. Clip art. Yes. Yes. Okay, and then quickly, the deposit is non-refundable. The reason that's non-refundable is because I can't be like, sorry, Johnny, I don't have the money to pay you the music. Thanks for sending it to me. Oh, nah, I can't
It's
do
not
that.
refundable because we spent it.
Yeah, we've already spent parts of it to make sure that this is viable for us. And then type. And then we are just, we have the clipboard going around, but then a digital version of the volunteering would be helpful. I am super involved. Great size of the compression shirt. Just know, you can ask band members, or you can discern what size you need. And then your shoe. It's not a Nike shoe, so go for your non-Nike shoe size, and that should work. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Select your images of colors. And then then I can set our system, and then we have you in.
With the shoes, when in doubt, go a half size up and don't go too far down. If you're like, am I a 6 or 7?
So the kids, because the kids are in first and second, and they're running with toe forward and toe up, and so if you think about something that's gonna slam their toe like that, you don't want to go too big, but you're right. A lot of the times the shoes were like this on kids' feet,
Yeah.
and that's miserable. So I know that's always kind of annoying, but yeah, Heidi has it right. Size up a half size
Half a size, yeah.
if you're worried about it. Okay. Oh, hold on, I had a nice slide and everything. Give me a second. That's the contract. At this point, all I want to say is this. I'm sorry, I'm not going to play more Shops of COVID as much as I want to. All I want to say is thank you. I know this has been a fairly long meeting, but I feel like it was really direct this time around. The information was really good. I hope this was helpful for you as you discern and decide if this is going to be a good fit for your kid. I hope you trust us and think that it is, because I think it's going to be a really great season. If there are people that you want to that get involved in this, we would love that. We only have so much agency here, and the support from parents makes more kids get involved. So you have a lot more power in the situation than you might even realize. So I just want to say thank you for your time. Fundraising. Okay, fundraising. Let's talk about it quickly, because I know that we're running over a little. Ms. Tierlink and I talked with Amy as well, we have a more concrete plan. Very quickly, let me just explain. For the last couple of years, basically the fundraising companies that have interacted with Hillcrest have been bluntly horrible. There have been some bad situations and kind of some just ugly talk at our kids, and some really kind of bad business practices that I don't accept. And so I've been a little more hesitant with fundraising. But what we decided to do is, just because that happened doesn't mean that we shouldn't advocate and give the kids ways to fundraise. So here's our general plan. You ready to help me out? We're going to more intentionally push for a pre-season fundraiser that can start tonight if you want it to. We are going to be doing snap raise for individual kids to get money. That's basically if you have extended family somewhere that want to kick your kid $50. That's how you do that. Here's my snap raise link. Send me money, and I can do marching band. Done. That's patronage, person to person. We're gonna shift over, and from now until August 1, from tonight until August 1, if you have a business or a nonprofit or something that you think, some business entity that would want to contribute and donate to the Hillcrest Band Program, we will take on sponsors, and we will put, if they contribute a certain amount, we'll give you the rundown. If they contribute a certain amount, we'll put a sign up, an advertising sign that Raising Cane's is a proud sponsor of the Hillcrest Band. Or the University of Utah School of Business is a proud sponsor of the Hillcrest Band. And the drill team does this, athletics do this, so quicker we get in the door, snag that money for the band, and we'll get a sign up. If they contribute different levels, we want to get their name out more. We want to even say in the announcements, what's up? Yeah, right. Yeah, we can also get those company names in the programs, and I will say them. You remember at concerts, for those who have been to Hillcrest concerts, when I blah 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 about Arctic Circle and about the brothers who just do gutters, we'll do that if they contribute enough money, right? So that money, we're also going to, we will follow the school's site on profit for that. So it won't just, if you get a sponsor locked down, you will get profit from it individually. It's going to be the proportion based on the school's site-based rule, which I think right now is 60-40.
Yeah, so HPAA, if you get a thing inside of the program, if you sponsor something inside of the program, it's a 60%, the kids get 60% back.
Okay, cool. So that can be a big booster for the kids. So like if we're gonna go for that, we're gonna push it harder, and we'll get you more info on that. You can start talking to people tonight. If you wanna sponsor Hillcrest Band, blah blah blah, we'll get you info on how to do that in about a week. Yeah. Or we've done it, we've tried to set it up before, but we're gonna be more intentional and advertise it more. That's pre-season. Snap raise, that's gonna happen right when summer band starts. And then we're gonna do a car wash during summer band. That one's more for visibility. But like, you know, we'll do a car wash during the summer band season, and then trash bags. Yeah, Hillcrest Band is trash. That's my name for this fundraiser. So you can there's a company I can buy trash bags with, and we're gonna do it right when all the leaves start falling. Yeah. So we'll have people that then you can sell. Basically, you sell them by the roll, and they're like these huge green lawn and leaf bags, and we'll get those, and we'll get pumpkin ones because it's spooky. And so we'll get you can sell by the roll, and we can even set the profit margin. So you know we'll be working on that. So we have trash bags that we're selling. We'll do snap raise. We're going to do the sponsorship fundraiser preseason, and then we're open to ideas and fundraising. Parents who want to help out with fundraising or come up with more ideas, we're all ears. So cool. That's fundraising. So yeah. Now I guess I'll just say thank you very much for coming out tonight. Super excited for the season. We hope you have a good rest of your night. Woo!